My name's Zachary.
My name is Amira.
I'm 24 years old.
I'm 25.
And I am sending a team
For Super 24.
So I grew up in a big family. I have 4 siblings, which you can tell is quite chaotic. I didn't really feel lonely at home. Like growing up, we would all stay in the same room. So all 5 of us growing up together, so we couldn't really escape each other.
I grew up in a Malay Muslim family. Mom, dad, older brother, and older sister, so I'm the youngest of the 3. When I was growing up, both my parents were working, so they weren't at home most of the time. Because of the big age gap with me and my sister and my brother, I didn't really get a lot of attention or validation from neither my siblings nor my parents. So I was left with a lot of time to figure out my hobbies, the things that I like, and one of those things that I found when I was in primary school was dancing.
I started dancing at the age of 6 years old. In my church, they started this dance ministry called Cultural Cross Crew. When I was 14, I joined this production called In the Making, and I got to meet a lot of incredible dancers through there, and I got a lot more exposure because of all these people. I was really young, right? So I had a lot of exposure from all these older dancers of different choreographers internationally, seeing Movement Lifestyle, seeing Sean Evaristo, Lal Beniga, and then seeing what dance could really be. Dance as a craft can really tell elaborate stories that made sense, stories that touched people's heart, and I got really, really attracted to that. And then within East Baka, I also got my first. That was the first time I joined Super 24, where we could have got 3rd place, but because I stepped on the line, then we got 4th place. So that will always be memorable to me.
Basically, when I was in primary school, I really, really liked K-pop. Okay, and there was this song called G by Girls' Generation, if you know. And then I was like, you know what, I could probably do this dance. So I started dancing in my living room. And it was up to a point where one day my dad came home and I was dancing. Then he was like, can you stop dancing so much? And I was like, you are right, I am dancing a lot. I met some people that I met online, and then we started dancing together. And they brought me for my first open class in old school when I was about, I think Sec 1 or Sec 2. I was taken in by a studio called Studio Woo. And they trained me up when I was a teenager up until the end of secondary school. I went to Dance People. I learned under Kate Willis. That was when I started hip hop. Then after Dance People, I stopped, and then I went to my now current mentor, which is Rihanna JS. And yeah, over the span of I think 10 or 12 years, so there were a lot of different phases in my dance journey, but I think everything sort of accumulated, and I like to say that I'm a rojak person because I feel I had so many little experiences that add up and accumulated to who I am and how I dance today.
I knew about his aspirations, his ambition with, I guess, right place, right time. I'm Tian Hong. I am 26 this year. How do I relate to Zach? I guess to a certain extent, I guess he considers me a mentor figure. Also, we dance a lot together, and I think there's also some form of brotherly bond. Yeah. I guess my role is always to just be there to speak and nudge him in directions that I think better and more suited for him, rather than try to be everything for everyone. I try to be something that people want you to be. So I honestly don't think there's much credit to me. I think it's just what I've observed within him is along his journey, he has found a bit more comfort in who he is, the dancer that he wants to be, to become someone who's a lot more mission-driven rather than driven by, let's say, the approval of the dance community or something like that. Yeah.
What I learned from Pineapple Boogie was a lot of what am I doing this for? And like evaluating the purpose and the intent of like my craft and like the genuinity of it, and being appreciative of what I create, and not to be so critical of myself, and accepting what I have for who I am at that current moment. And that really helped to change my perspective of dance to be a lot less toxic for myself. And it was a journey that I was slowly progressing on, but I really learned a lot from that in a more personal sense from him.
A lot of like mentor-mentee is very like, okay, I mentor you and you dance like me, and then yeah, you know, blah, 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 blah. But ours is really on a very, very personal level. Hello, I'm Rihanna. I'm 34 this year. I guess I would call myself Amira's mentor. Yeah. I mean, off the top of my head, my impression of her back then was like, she was a very strong dancer. She didn't feel like a dancer that needed to be mentored technically. She just needed some kind of guidance in the dance scene. Yeah, like she didn't know where she wanted to go and she didn't know how to start. And yeah, we are kind of like, I guess we clicked pretty well. Yeah, like we're both more laid back, you know. Yeah, so that started our journey together.
What she taught me was so much more. She taught me how to teach, how to create, and how to be that kind of like a social role model. Yeah, so I learned that teaching dance was way more than just dancing, and there was like so much of that social aspect and how I should carry myself, how I should speak to people and things like this. And she was so supportive, like even outside of dance. Yeah, I think in that sense she felt like she was like my dance mom. Yeah, and I'm just like so grateful to have met her.